welcome everybody. Happy Friday or Saturday if you're in the future. Peter, hi Tatiana. Hello. Always happy to see you guys. How's it going? What's going on? Where are you from? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi Christina, good to see you again. Hello Tatiana, happy Friday to you, my dear. Thank you for your lovely review the other day. That was really, really nice to read. Peter Brook, woo! My dear friend Peter, how are you? What's going on, girl? Hello to anybody else. Say hi, where you're from. Welcome to my live stream where we do lots of fun things if you're new. Hi, Jenny. Welcome from Seattle. Hanging, washing out, sleepy. Yeah. Oops, I just went all, there we go. My auto focus is funny. Hi, Nikki. Welcome. First time from Allentown, PA. Not bad. I'm from Rochester. We're not too far away. Haven't been to Allentown in years. Welcome to the live. Happy to have you. Hello. Could I call you Enlightened or Serenity? Enlightened, Serenity. Morning, all. Hello. Morning. You must be in the future. Down under? New Zealand? Oceania somewhere? Yay! Welcome to you, Australia. Nice to have you here. Hey, Joanne. Joanne changed your picture. Look at that. Did you also get your hair colored? Amazing. Hi, hi, hi. Good morning. I'm happy to see you all. Hi, Laura. How are you? What's going on, my friends? How's your week been? How are you feeling? Cool. Hi, Laura. So good to see you, dear. Who's been feeling the eclipse? Big time. I have. Very, very much so. Yeah, you too, Nikki. What have you been feeling from it, Nikki? Matthew, you too? Yeah, tell me, guys, what's been going on for you? Don't like it, Peter. I'm sorry to hear that. Tatiana survived the eclipse. Yes, I did too. I survived an incredibly overcast, cloudy eclipse. For me, it has been feeling very expansive, but also kind of uncomfortable. I feel like I'm being, how do I say this? I feel like my future has latched onto me and is yanking me forward. It's not it's not in a kicking and screaming kind of way, but I'm feeling like my calling is asking me to expand and I don't know how yet. So I've been spending the last few days trying to redo my job title, my description of what I do, um the whole like rewriting everything I've written for my business. I feel like I'm going through a redefinition of who I am and what I do. It's not always been comfortable every day, but it's been fun. And well, when it on the times when it hasn't felt so good, it hasn't been fun. But when I remember that my expansion is my decision and my goal, then and an adventure, then I've started to see it as fun. So I've had a lot of really good breakthroughs and insights this week, but it's been a lot intense. Nikki says I'm usually calm, but she's a little antsy right now. Christina, belly aches. Not sure if that's related to the eclipse. Don't know. Ooh, there I go, all fuzzy again. Sorry about that. The autofocus on my camera is being weird. And we're back. Okay. Nikki said the earthquake last Friday didn't help. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I was not in that. Yeah, but I bet you were in Allentown. Tatiana, it's all about expansion! Exclamation point. I feel the same way, Greg. I feel like I need to expand, but how? In what direction? Well, the good news for us, Tatiana, is that according to Jackie Mancuso and others, eclipse have a 6 month to 1 year effect. So it's not something we have to accomplish right now. But since it's also Mercury retrograde, I'm taking advantage of doing rewriting, revisiting, reviewing, and all that. I have a feeling the energy for the creative energy for me is going to move forward again after the 25th. Hello, Mira. Nice to see you. Are you new? I can't remember. Yeah, Merc retrograde all the way. Hello, welcome to anyone just joining. I haven't really done my introduction yet. My name is Greg Phillips. I'm in the middle of reevaluating, reassessing, reviewing what my job title is. What I've been saying is that I'm an energy healer. I am, but I'm not. I'm actually way more than that. As well as an intuitive guide, which I definitely am, but I'm not sure if that is understandable or makes sense. But anyways, what we do here in our lives is my life in particular I read energy, and then I utilize that to help break open our hearts, basically. I'm a big proponent and champion of living from the heart, of dropping out of the mind and into the heart. And so the new title for my lives is Loving Guidance on the Path to Your Heart, because I do believe in my heart and soul that living from a place of love is what we're all called to do. And that is truly living from a place of the divine, among other things. Yeah. So I work with energy. We often go on transformational, energetic journeys. That's my phrase for it right now, but that's mostly just a descriptive phrase. And sometimes I just get channeled guidance or intuitive hits, and then I share it with you guys. So today's format is going to be a group wide reading, so I won't need to take names or be doing anything like that. We're just going to see what energy is at play within us, and what kind of resolution that energy might want. And I say it that way because for me, working with energy is so beautiful because to me, it feels like the most purest aspect of ourselves, right? Energy may be responding to something from the past or something we're thinking about in the future, but energy is purely in the now. It's current. It's in the moment. And so it's really, really fun for me in particular. And I know it is for other people when we work with it, because I feel like it's showing us who we truly are, right? And when we tap in and learn about our own energy and we deepen that connection and the awareness with it, then things like opening up to our life force, opening up to our hearts, our ability to love more deeply, opening up to perceiving things that we've never been able to see before, and ultimately opening up to the divine all become more possible. So it is truly a joy for me, and I am thankful for all of you being here today. Let's see what's Tatiana says. I'm slowing down right now, assessing where I am and appreciating all my achievements. Wow, great for you. I love that. Peter says it's been interesting to notice what's in the foreground for me, particularly creatively. Yeah, that is your huge theme lately, isn't it, Peter? I love that for you. Mira says, I came a couple times and whenever I can, but I'm usually quiet. Oh, that's okay, Mira. You can be quiet. You know, I go on live streams and lurk sometimes because I don't feel like saying anything, although I'm probably a bit more interactive than some, but you are welcome to be quiet or share. I'm happy you said hello. Lovely. So true, says Serenity. Awesome. I'm assuming you said that in response to something I said, which I can't remember what I said because I think I was channeling. Yes, Jenny would say absolutely true. Hello, Fabiola. Good to see you. Yay. Yes, and we're glad Mira is here too. Awesome. Does anyone else want to say hello? Any questions about anything I've said so far? If this is your first time here, I hope that you enjoy the ride. We never quite know what's going to come out of a session, but because I'm focused on living from the heart and living from love, it's often something related to that. Hello, Carrie. Just arrived. Good to see you. Gosh, did you change your photo? I think you did change your photo. Looks like a Buddha. That's a nice one. I like it. Yes. Who else is here? If you want to say hi, please feel free to do so. We're just going to wait a smidge for a few more folks to arrive so that they don't miss anything. For those who are brand new to my lives, in this particular format, we start with a beautiful meditation, which is we use to sort of invoke and tap into our intuition, right? And then from there, um, the question or topic or intention that we might have, whatever it is that we're looking or hoping for guidance around, we allow that to bubble up and then we hold that while I read the group energy. Hello, Shelley. Good to see you. Welcome. It's fun how people get to know each other across the lives. Hi, Melissa. Salem, Oregon. Nice to have you. I think you've been here before, haven't you? It looks like I think I recognize your photo. Yeah, welcome from Salem, Oregon. Yes, I thought so. Very cool. Hi, Yvonne. Good to see you. I'm here but listening from my work computer. I jumped on my phone real quick to say hi to all. That's awesome. Oh, Melissa, you do love it here? Thank you. I love hearing that. That's great. Look at that. 40 people. I love it. Well, anyone else want to check in, say hi, or share how they're feeling or what they're doing before we get started? Because I think 40 folks is plenty to get going with. Can you guys hear the music okay? I'm still sort of wondering about that. And just for folks who don't know, I do record all these live streams and I put them up on my YouTube channel, which you are more than welcome to follow and join or subscribe. What's the word? Yeah, subscribe. You can find that in my Insight Timer teacher profile. You go to the About tab and then you scroll down and there's my link right there. That goes to all my links actually to my Linktree page. So I've got all my socials there. I've got my calendar for booking privates if you ever feel so called. I love doing privates. Just actually did one with my dear friend right before this. That one was profound. And then also what else is there? Yeah, if you ever have questions for me or just feel like you want to reach out, my email's on there, my Instagram, my Facebook, a couple other things. I forget what everything's on there. I have to go look at it again. Thank you, Nikki. I love my background too. Um, this I'm calling my dojo or my Zen center. Let me turn it off so you guys can look at it for a moment. Doesn't that look like the most inviting place to go meditate ever? That's just so love it. Yeah, just lovely. All right, here I come back. Very zen. I agree, Tatiana. And I like these, see if I can point to them. Yeah, I love these wall hangings, tapestries. Never owned, well, I've only owned a Japanese or an Asian style one once, so a very small one years ago. But these are, I've always thought that if I ever had a meditation room, that I would decorate them with things like that. And look at those candles. I love those candles. All right, my friends, welcome. Let's get started. Actually, we've already started. We like this part, the chit chat part. Okay, so let's get started for the meditation. Go ahead and close your eyes. Bring your left hand up to the center of your heart at your heart chakra. And then bring your right hand up and gently place it on top of it. Make sure that your arms are relaxed and comfortable. We don't want any tension or stress. Just begin by taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. And as we gently settle into our bodies, into the moment, begin to feel into the connection between your hands and the spot on your heart chakra where they're touching. Feel the warmth of the touch of the hands on your chest, and feel your heart responding by shining and glowing a little bit more with each breath. It's like each breath is expanding the light of the heart, the warmth that it's emanating. I want you to pass that warm, glowing light from your heart right into your hands. Picture your hands glowing with a soft golden light, warm to the touch, very soothing and very nurturing. And as you feel that energy coming into your hands with each breath, allow it to travel up your arms, past your wrists, along the forearm, past the elbows, up to the shoulders, and let it travel up through your neck, into your head, into your mind. Dear God, Source, Spirit, please open our minds to your divine wisdom, connecting us to your way of perceiving everything, your way of perceiving from the vibration and frequency of love. And fill our hearts with your divine love that we may strengthen our capacity to love ourselves and others, strengthen our ability to feel all of our emotions, comfortable and uncomfortable, good, bad, and indifferent. Strengthen our courage with your divine courage, our ability to feel strong in any moment, our sense of confidence, power, self assuredness. And Mother Earth, offer us your loving, constant, unwavering support to ground us, connect us to our roots, to the root chakra, and supporting us in every way as we move or sit, stand or lay down. Father Sky, open and bolster our connection to the divine. Help us as we go and walk through our lives to remember that we are never alone, that the divine is always available to us, always loving us, always ready to assist. And from this place of beautiful connection, my friends, open your heart and mind to allow your question, your topic, your intention to bubble forth. Allow it to bubble up from deep inside of you or from the divine itself, coming in whatever form, feelings, words, a whole sentence, pictures, whatever form it comes in. Just hold a space of allowing for that. Allow it to bubble up. See if you can form it into a phrase. Mine today would be, how best can I embrace my expansion? Just hold that in your heart or your mind or both. If nothing comes to you, be easy and gentle about it. It just means that you're open to general guidance. Your intuition isn't broken. You just don't have anything specific in this moment. And as you hold your question in your heart, know and trust that your question will be answered, whether in this live today, through our journey together today, or through the interaction with a friend later, or journaling or listening to music. Just trust and know that your answer will come in its own time, in its own place. I needed a drink and I will begin to check the energy. Just continue to hold your question in your heart. You don't have to keep your eyes closed for this if you don't want to. For those who are new to my lives, in particular my gift, I basically scan chakras, although in this case I'm scanning the group's energy centers, if you will. And images and sounds and feelings and senses come to me, and then I begin to describe them and reflect them to you guys. And then we see how you respond, what feelings and insights come to you. So the very first image I'm getting is from our mental space here as a group. I there's a the sense that I'm getting from the energy, the collective energy in our mind is that we are it's like a toy chest, okay? A treasure chest, a toy chest where the lid flips open like a jack in the box sort of, and tons of thoughts come flying out in abundance. I could just feel this multitude of thoughts just bursting out of a toy chest, that kind of a feeling. There's there's a there's a sense of elation and surprise, just like you would sort of be pleasantly surprised by a jack in the box popping out of its box. But there's also a sense of um, shock and a little bit of overwhelm from so many thoughts just flying out of this box. So we have a lot of mental activity going on. And yet I don't feel anything negative or bad about this. What I'm sensing is, this is actually really quite beautiful. So what I'm sensing is, I don't have the words. Hold on. One moment, please. There's like this blossoming of thoughts and ideas that have been contained in this beautiful toy chest, right? This beautiful chest of thoughts, shall we say. And now, as we're meeting together, the lid to the chest is flying open, and all the thoughts are coming out, but they're not coming out in a chaotic way. They're coming out in sort of a burst of celebration. And the real message that oh, you're on your bike, so no eyes closed, just enjoying listening. Thank you, Joanne. The message I'm getting here is this humbleness, this allowing of ideas to burst forth from us, right? But in a way in which, okay, the message I'm getting is to allow our creativity and our thoughts, ideas, not just thinking, but ideas, right? New ideas, old ideas, mediocre ideas, great ideas, bright ideas, soft ideas, dull ideas, just the whole spectrum, to really allow all our ideas to just, and our creativity just burst is the right word, to, and birth maybe, but to just burst forth with the same kind of joyous expectation that a child would have as they're opening their toy chest, right? As they're opening this chest full of toys. And maybe they're looking for a particular toy to play with. Maybe they're just looking at all the possibilities, right? And they don't, like, a kid usually doesn't care about organizing the toys, right? They just sort of start taking them out of the chest. So I feel like this energy is one of just open exploration, that curiosity, the curious heart, if you will, of a child, right? And when a child, they have that innocence when they're playing, when they're looking for the toy that will um that the toy that will fulfill their desire to have some fun in the moment, or their desire to explore, or their desire to um else to kid role play for a moment, where they're pretending they're an astronaut or a doctor or a mommy or a daddy, and they're just in that innocent curiosity and joyfulness. It's hmm, the message I'm getting is to not hide our thoughts and ideas away, but to allow them to come forth and scatter across the floor, not to panic over the mess, not to insist on organizing them or structuring them, but just allowing the flow, truly allowing the flow. And of course, this is so challenging to do sometimes when we are really wanting something, right? So I can totally relate to this, because for the last few days I've been doing a lot of reworking of my marketing speak, my copywriting, my things that I've written on my various web presences, right? And particularly my title, what I call myself, and what and how to describe what I do, right? And I get myself into these binds mentally, right, where I end up feeling this pressure sort of, and it's not real pressure. There's no urgency. I don't have a deadline or anything. It's just me wanting to figure it out, right? And so this message that I'm getting is, if there's something that you are feeling a sense of urgency over, if you are feeling this mental insistency, right? And it's not even really a feeling, it's a pattern of thinking, it's a way of thinking that is just like, I've got to figure it out. I've got to get this. I've got to get this answer. I need this now. It's got to be this way. Whatever it is, if it's anything that even has any sense or aspect of um, what's the narrow-minded thinking, looking through the blinders, right? So the blinders are like what they put on the animals, right? So that they don't get distracted. What is it? Horses, I think, where they don't get distracted, right? By the peripheral vision, right? But it's helping them to focus forward. But we don't want that right now. We want a diffuse, open focus. We want to be open to all of the thoughts and ideas that come through, and then be like a child, where we're looking at it, and we're taking a moment. We're not analyzing it with our minds, my friends. We're looking at it in this moment, and we're asking our heart, and we're looking into our heart for the feeling response, for the energetic response, the energetic equality associated with the idea or the thought or the concept that's just bursting out of our toy chest, our mental toy chest, right? And so, what does this look like? So, let's say we're wanting an answer about physical pain. let's say we've been practicing a pattern of thought around our physical pain that is one of, what's a good example? What am I feeling here? Hating it, hating it. Let's say that we are in this space mentally of looking at, sensing our physical pain and just being like, I can't stand this. I can't take this anymore. I hate this. I can't believe how long it's been. I don't like this. I really don't like this anymore. Right. So that's hard. That is a very challenging place to be in, particularly with physical pain. But what we're doing is reviewing this physical pain with those blinders on, with that one solitary perspective that we continue to repeat. And unfortunately, in that particular example, sorry about the focus right there. Come on, camera. There we go. In that particular example, our focus is so clear but of a very low vibration, right? And so how do we track this? So we look at what we're thinking about and we look at how it's making us feel. Does this thought or practice pattern of thinking make us feel better? Are we feeling any relief? Are we feeling any hope? The answer is no. Then we take the blinders off and we open ourselves up to another thought that's in the toy chest, right? And so think about how the kid does this. The child will pick up the toy and maybe they'll start to play with it or fiddle with it. And then they'll realize that doesn't bring them joy in that moment, right? That's not the kind of fun they're looking for example, right? Or maybe the toy's broken for the moment and they realize, well, I don't want to have to deal with the broken toy. I'd rather play with one that isn't broken, right? And so then they look for another toy. Imagine that we're doing this, right? Not from the toy chest, but with all the toys, our thoughts, all the toys have burst out of the chest and they're in the air and they're suddenly suspended. And we're quickly scanning through them and we're looking and we're looking and we're looking to see which ones bring us joy, or at a minimum, which thoughts are bringing us relief. It just has to be an iota. It just has to be even a smidge, right? So, in another example, let's say we're frustrated over our life direction. Okay. We've been sitting, walking through our day, unfulfilled with what we're currently doing, or maybe we're unemployed and feeling a lack of clarity around our destination and our future, right? And it's just so easy to get into judgment around that. It's so easy to create stories around that when we're not connecting with the heart, when we're not connecting with the divine, right? Instead, when we're just coming from our mind, or worse, other people's thoughts about it, their reflections, their ideas, their feedback, right? When we're coming from that place, sometimes it's just so easy to drop into, I'm worthless. I'm no good. I don't know what I'm doing. Right? It's just so easy to go there, but that thought immediately makes us feel bad, right? It either drops us into depression, it registers some fear, it creates some sadness, we're feeling some grief or whatever, right? Those are the lower vibration emotions. What we're wanting to do is just be like that child in the toy chest and be like, hold on a second. That toy of I'm not good enough, that toy doesn't feel good right now. That's not going to be fun. That doesn't bring me joy. Let's put that toy aside. Let's find another one. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, that could be true, but that toy doesn't sound fun to play with either. It doesn't feel fun. Let's find another toy to play with. And just let's just keep looking for other toys, my friends. What's another toy that we can play with? Well, you know what? I have a God. I have a divine, whatever you call it, and I can ask them for help. I'm not quite there yet. Okay, I'm not quite there yet. What's a toy that might like help me get there a little bit closer? Oh, okay. Here's a toy that is basically pretty neutral. I feel like what kind of thought would this be? Um, okay, I'm in transition. Like, that's okay. It's okay to be in transition. Folks that are in transition don't know everything yet. I haven't arrived yet. I'm on a journey. Oh, wait, I'm on a journey. Well, that's kind of like being on traveling, like I'm having an adventure. Oh, an adventure sounds really fun. Oh, I want to have an adventure with this. Okay, for today, I'm going to have an adventure with this. I'm going to have an adventure with my pain. I'm going to have an adventure with my, where I'm at with wanting clarity around my life direction. I'm going to have an adventure today. And then you begin to get a whiff of hope and you begin to create the potential in yourself to make a new decision around whatever this topic is. Hi, Linda. Hi, Clau. Yeah, you begin to empower yourself because you're raising your vibration. So, hmm, yeah, and we just have to let all of these toys burst out of the toy box, all of these thoughts, and let them fall on the ground and not attach to any single one of them until it feels good, right? We can look at them, we can consider it, we can reflect on it, but then we withhold making that choice. We keep our power. We don't give our power away to that thought. We don't want to give our power away to I'm no good or I'm a loser or I feel bad because I haven't had clarity around this or my XYZ hurts so bad that I can't focus. We don't want to give power to those thoughts. We can acknowledge them because we're going to have them. They're going to pop. We're human. They're going to pop up, right? It's just part of our course of life because we're human. We have those thoughts. But when we can look at it like the toys scattered on the ground, and when we don't pick it up, we can go, oh, I see you, that thought. I see you. No, I'm going to look for a different toy, right? I'm going to look for a different thought. I often call it trying on different hats, right? So let's say you're going out and shopping for a hat, right? You're going to be putting on one hat and you're like, this doesn't fit quite right. Well, what happens when it doesn't fit quite right? Do you sit there kind of stewing over the hat? No, you put it back on the shelf or you give it to the retail salesperson to put it back or whatever. Um, and then you go look for another one, right? But as you look for another one, you notice, well, that one had a really good quality of the material. I really liked how that material felt until you start to look for another hat that has a similar feel of that material, right? And then you find one and you try it on. You're like, wow, this fits really well, but I don't like this color. And so you put that one back and you go look for another. And as you're going, you're refining your preferences around it. You're refining your awareness of what works for you and what doesn't, but you're listening to your heart over it. You're not getting too analytical, right? You're not over analyzing. You're not judging the hat. We don't put the hat back on the shelf in the store and go, "You are a lousy freaking hat. No, my God, I can't believe you even exist, much less why are you in this store? Who even created you? Who is the schmuck who created this hat?" Right? You don't say that. You just put it back because it's not for you. You might go, you might cuss a little bit because you like the material, but if you're having fun with this, like a kid, you're exploring different hats until you find the right one. And eventually you're going to find one that fits perfect. It's the right material, but it's the wrong price. And so then you're going to go, well, when will this be on sale or whatever? You're going to look for what works for you, what you're really wanting, right? But you don't do that. Well, you might do it by picking up every hat in the store. But in the example of our toy chest with all these toys bursting out and falling over, we don't have to pick each one up. We can look at, consider the thought, and move on to the next one. Hopefully, this is making sense to you. It's making a huge amount of sense for me in my relevant situation. But let me see what else might be going on here. Does anyone have any questions or comments about that while I look elsewhere in our energy field? Okay, I'm getting a huge message come through that before we even open, hang on for PETA. I love that for you, my friend. Okay, so I'm sensing down. All right. It's so important, my friends, when we are about to, what is this? Before we open the toy chest, it is so important to ground ourselves in something other than our thinking. So, because I'm sensing down in the lower chakras. The message I'm getting is that if we don't ground before we approach this thought adventure, so let's say Maybe somebody is curious about, let's say something, maybe this is true for somebody. I don't know. I'll just go with it. But let's say we're about to sit down to a project, or we're about to sit down to a brainstorming, or we're about to sit down to make a phone call about our pain, or we're about to sit down and undertake something that might feel mm, overwhelming, ominous, heavy-hearted, scary, right? Let's before as we're about to sit down for this, we want to ground. And so there's so many different ways to ground. You can ground to Mother Earth, you can ground in your body through exercise. But I think what's most important here is that you're wanting to make a connection that's deeper than just you and your thoughts. That could be a grounding earth grounding connection. It can be calling in, like we did earlier, an invocation for the divine to come and support you. It could be connecting in your heart with your guides, if you believe in your guides, if you're that kind of person, which I am. Um, Anything that really, okay, thank you. What I'm being, what's being shared with me, okay, okay. Um, Grounding is one option. The other is anything that helps dissolve the illusion of separation, meditation, anything. So the whole thing, the whole point that they're giving me is, as you're heading into whatever this about to do thing is, you can't open that toy chest and feel, you can't, if you open the toy chest from the point of separation, then when the toys all pop out, you're just going to get lost in overwhelm. So it's so important to connect with something or someone. Like, there's a concept that I learned many, many years ago when I was in 12-step programs, and people taught me how to bookend difficult or challenging happenings in my life. And what a bookend meant was call somebody on the phone before I do it, go do the thing that I set an intention to do, and then call somebody, the same person or somebody, anybody on the phone after I do the thing. So that way I have a check-in on the way into the scary or overwhelming or whatever thing. And then on the way out, after it's done, I have a loving person I can check in for support afterwards. And so that's called bookending. I'm sure that's used in other areas as well. Anyways, yeah, so just the grounding and connecting to source, connecting to the divine, super important, because we don't want to be entering into these moments from a place of feeling separate. We're wanting to feel the connection, at least to our heart, if not something bigger. See if there's anything else. Yes, and when we do that, so much joy and possibility is open to us. So much joy and possibility, just like the child playing with its toys, right? So cool. Hmm. I'm sensing something about love, self-love. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the act of grounding and connecting with the divine is truly an act of self-love. And bringing in this spirit of adventure as we explore ideas, as we explore thoughts, is also a form of self-love. Yeah. Hmm. And I'm being asked to remind all of us that we are always safe, secure, and deeply loved in every single moment of the day. It's easy to forget this. but sometimes it's just so vital to be reminded that we are safe and secure and deeply loved. I always appreciate it. All right, my friends. More of a download than a journey, but some interesting imagery there. PETA says, bang on. What was your question, PETA? What's bang on for you? So bear in mind that sometimes during these readings, you're going to get your question directly answered, and sometimes you're not going to get it answered at all. And sometimes you're going to hear exactly what you needed, and it may not have been directly related to your question, but ultimately it was related to something that you needed to hear. What do I do with my life? Yes. What do you do with your life? Does anyone relate? I relate. What do you do with your life? Shelley says, thank you, Greg. I needed to hear I am deeply loved, etc. today. Yes, the etc. is important too, isn't it? Creativity popped up before that. Oh, Christina, thanks for the heart. What were people's questions? How did it feel? What's your response to hearing about the toy chest and the all the toys that our thoughts and ideas as toys bursting out in that way? Like, could have been any possible reaction to that. And any questions about that? Any questions about what I said? Shelly, what was your question or intention since you so so deeply needed to hear that you are loved and safe and secure? I'm curious to hear what you had. Hmm. Oh, Leanne's here. Hello, Leanne. Where is she? Yeah, I invite any reflections. You can share what your question was. You can share what your experience of hearing about that download. If you've got any questions for clarification around what was shared, please let me know. Let each other know. Hi, Leanne. So good to see you and your white swan. Peter says the imagery and feels were almost identical to my own visualizations. Ha! That's awesome. Hello, Brandon. Good to see you again. Deborah says, thank you, Greg. I have a meeting tomorrow, quote unquote, which is like my choice chest. It's a new venture, which is self-employment. So helpful. Oh, good, Deborah. I'm glad. A meeting tomorrow. What kind of meeting? That sounds intriguing. Joanne says the toy chest was a fantastic analogy. I've been doing a lot of positive talk to my pain, but definitely will use the toy chest too now. Awesome. Shelley, I just feel very sad today. I have an amazing opportunity happening, but I know it's going to cause hurt within the family and your mother. Shelley, yeah. So is this the sadness is probably coming from a certain way of thinking about this opportunity and the separation, maybe. It's quite hold on, Shelley. What do I got here for you? Well, I'm just being reminded, and I need this reminder too, that when we choose what's highest and best for us, it's important to trust that that choice is also what's highest and best for everyone else involved. And so a brief story from my life comes to mind. So, in my early to mid 20s, I felt called to move from Rochester, New York to Philadelphia. And I was invited to stay with some friends there. And I made the decision because I was in the middle of a lot of personal growth. I was really trying to discover who I am or was. And I was trying to honestly separate from my parents more and have more emotional detachment from them. So in making this decision to move, I also decided that I would not give my address or phone number to my parents. And that was a really difficult decision. It was very scary to make. It felt like the right thing to do. And I knew I needed to do it for me. And what I realized a year later was that it was also really helpful for my parents because they were really emotionally dependent on me in a lot of ways. That was it was just after my parents' divorce, and I think that they both felt really there was just so many feelings for them around it that they weren't processing their feelings. They were sort of glomming onto us kids emotionally, which was true for my mom. My dad, of course, wasn't dealing with any of it because well, my dad never dealt with emotions until he got dementia. Then he dealt with emotions, which is fascinating. But anyways, fast forward, and after I'd been moved for a year, I then did sort of open up communications with them again. But I had to do it because I felt like every time I heard from them or interacted with them, my grounding was thrown off. I like my serenity was disturbed and I couldn't stay centered, right? So I needed this time where I could learn how to center in myself, where I didn't have to rely on them emotionally, mentally, or anything. And I grew so much that year so that when I reconnected with them, I was stronger. I was more capable of connecting with them in a way where my center wasn't thrown off, where it wasn't thrown off centered by their, dysfunctional behavior and what. And eventually they grew and changed too. So, Shelly, it's just trust that your decision for yourself, if it is feeling right for you, if it's that toy that works for you in that moment, right? Because what works for us changes as we change and as we grow. But if it's the toy that is working for you in the moment, if it's feeling good and right for you, then trust that it will be the right thing for your family members as well. And we don't know how that will unfold, my friend. We can't see that far, but in our hearts, we can trust that. I hope that that is helpful for you today. Carlotta says it's so good to hear that all these thoughts can be seen as adventures versus so damn annoying. Yes, right? And we have that choice, Carlotta, from moment to moment to see it as adventure because what happens for me, and I think this is true for all of us, a thought will come up and we'll get distracted by it. And it may not be the best thought in the world, and it's okay. But when we attach more judgment and more story and more analysis to it, we're weighing it down, we're lowering its vibration, and then it's a lot harder to shift. But if we look at it for a moment and go, that's not the toy for me, right? That's not going to be fun right now, or whatever feeling we're wanting, that's not going to feel fulfilling right now. That's not going to be enjoyable. That's not going to be grounding. That's not going to be centering. And when we do it without judgment, like putting the hat back on the shelf or putting the toy back in the toy chest, right? Then we can move on. We leave ourselves open and accessible to seeing the next toy, to seeing the next thought, or to letting that pass as well. Yes, Pete is giving Shelley hugs and strength. Carlotta, I have seen these thoughts overwhelming, which fills me with anxiety. Yes, exactly. But you have the choice to see it as an adventure or to see it neutrally. We don't have to give our power to those thoughts. We may, for a bit, for a moment or longer, but we can actually find a neutral ground with it, right? And from that neutral ground, we can catch a whiff of hope, a whiff of maybe seeing it as an adventure. What else are you guys saying? Shelly, it is or what feels what's best for myself and my kids. Beautiful. Then trust, my dear. Trust that it is what is highest and best for everybody involved. Absolutely. Shelly says, yes, I feel completely drained when I'm around her. Yeah. And you know what? You deserve so much, Shelly. You deserve everything you want. You deserve to feel good around your mom. If you can't right now, it's okay not to go around her. It's okay to minimize interaction. It's okay because when you're doing that, you're choosing yourself because your connection to you and the divine is the most important thing. The most important thing. Yes, you're welcome, Shelley. I'm so glad that helped you so much. Yes, and Leanne's giving you strength too. Yay. Neutral ground is also a possibility. When we get caught up, when the thoughts explode out of the toy chest, we have a moment, right, where wow, my color of the video just went off. When the thought explodes, that moment when it explodes, we have a moment where we also have a choice. We might be suddenly surprised by the explosion of all these thoughts. And that's okay. That's natural. And in that moment, we can go, I could get overwhelmed all this by all this, or I could have fun with it. It's okay to get overwhelmed. It's okay to have fun with it. It's okay to just be like, oh, there goes all my thoughts. Oh, there goes all my thoughts. I mean, a lot of times in meditation, what I was taught and what I learned over the years is there's a value in neutrality, right? Sometimes I'm meditating and thoughts come up and I attach onto them and I go with it and whatever. And then I realize, oh, I'm thinking instead of meditating, or I'm telling myself stories, or I'm fantasizing instead of meditating, right? The trick there, the skill there is going, oh, just like that. Oh, and then letting it go. If it comes back, fine. Oh, there I go again, fantasizing or thinking or obsessing about this. Okay, that's just the mind being overly active. Got it. Okay, cool. No judgment, no story. We let it go. And then that opens up to the possibilities of seeing it different ways. Very cool. It is difficult not to attach, Carlotta says. And yes, the grounding is important. Anything that brings us into our heart or into our connection with source, which is also bringing us into our heart, right? Anything like that can help us step into these moments where we might be scared to be overwhelmed or there's just too much to consider at times. And none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. It's so important to have loving allowance for us to be exactly as we are, just really being present with that. Yeah. Cool, guys. So good. Anyone else want to share what they experienced or have a question about all of this beautiful intuitive insight that came through? Welcome to anyone who's joined late. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks to all of you for being here today. I love joining and meeting up with you guys on lives like this and being able to share my gift and whatever intuitive inner wisdom or outer wisdom comes through all of us, really. Um, Thank you for everybody who follows. If you feel so called in your heart to follow me, I invite and encourage you to do so right on my Insight Timer profile. You can also find our beautiful group called the Circle of Love. It's at the bottom of the home page or the home tab of my profile. And I also invite you to connect with me through all of my links. You can find the link to my link tree on the About tab of the teacher profile. I've got my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube, where I post all my lives. I record all these. I'm recording this one. And I put them up there so you guys can watch the replays and gain more insight or just relive or re-experience whatever came through in the live for you. It's just a fun way to connect. Also growing a yeah, I'm also growing my community on other platforms as well. So I won't talk about that right now. But thanks for supporting me through your follows, through any subscribings on the socials, and through any time that your heart feels called to offer a donation. It really does support my business. Right now, I'm saving money for a laptop so that I can move out of where I'm living when my friend who I'm living with eventually dies from her cancer. I know that sounds really morose, but I feel good about it today. But yeah, so any donations are going directly to helping that as well as keeping food on the table and whatnot. So thank you for any way you feel like supporting. Oh, yeah. If you don't want Apple to take your 30%, I totally respect and understand that. I do have a PayPal link. You are more than welcome to use that as well. You have to find it through my link on the About tab of the teacher profile. So if you have any sensitivities or concerns around that, I totally respect that. I do have that alternative way for you to offer donations. And I thank you, Shelley, for yours. Let's see, what else is everybody saying? PETA says, I love when you guys share. So much fun. I'm very grateful for the reminder on grounding first. Love the simplicity that you delivered with source on these gems. Thanks, PETA. This was a very straightforward message. It wasn't it was really clear. Did anybody notice that? I felt like it was really clear. Fabiola said my question is difficult to write down. Yeah. We'll just feel into it, Fabiola, for a second. Carlotta says, thank you. Loving myself keeps me grounded. Thank you for today. You're welcome. You're welcome. Love having you guys here. is my dream to eventually be able to meet with everybody in a more connected way. So, um, one of the ideas that is bubbling around in my head that I'm trying to make have an adventure with is the idea of having a weekly Zoom retreat, not weekly, sorry, words, a monthly Zoom retreat. Um, I recently met with about a dozen, some people here today, a dozen different folks from my lives to test this. Um, my video keeps messing up today. Camera, get into it. Okay. Um, I'll just chalk it up to Mercury retrograde. Anyways, to test this group-wide energy reading format, right? Which we had this amazing experience of being able to see each other for the first time, which was at first a little intimidating and nerve-wracking for me and a few others. But then it just became this beautiful opportunity to spend time together and really explore, verbally and whatnot, just the energy that is at play with us and the insights that we were looking for. It was really, really quite awesome. So I would like to do a monthly Zoom retreat of sorts. If you have any interest in that, please write me directly through Insight Timer, or even through email or one of my socials or whatnot. It's something that I would really love to do, and it would also be donation based, probably like I don't know, donation based or sliding scale. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm still playing with that toy. What else you guys saying? Peter says, yes, very clear. Was listening for your footsteps in my brain. Ooh, I'm a pretty big guy, Peter. I don't know if you want my footsteps. Actually, I walk pretty gently. Um, oh, you think that'd be cool, Leanne? Okay, very awesome. Very, very cool. Joanne says it was very special. Clow, yes, really great experience. Yes, it was. Clow was there, Peter was there, Joanne was there. I appreciate and thank you guys so much for that. My little council of advisors for that time. Anyways, enough about all that. What else is going on for you guys? Are we all complete? Are we ready for a wrap up, or does anyone really feel in their heart that they would like to share or ask any questions? Now is the time, my friends, as we get closer to transitioning out of the live. Pete is totally complete. Yay for you. Well, somebody else might not be. Hey, there's my friend Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Welcome to the live. Tatiana says, thank you for the toy chest of our tools to play with. Much love and gratitude for your message today. You're welcome, dear. I love that too. I'm always amazed at where the imagery that the energy shows me comes from. I don't know where I'm pulling it at. I sense something, I feel it, and then I see it. And it's really quite fascinating because people have asked me, can you see auras? And I can't see energy in the physical. Like if we were to meet, I could feel your energy, but I don't see anything around you. I don't see, like, it's only when I tap into people's chakras and now the group energy, but into these particular focus centers, that I get images and everything. It's really, I mean, to me, it's fun and amazing and quite, it's a little bit of bafflement as well in it. Fabio, um, was that your question at the beginning, Fabiola? Yeah, so when I'm okay, cool, great. I should have clarified that. My apologies. So any questions right now? I'm wanting to know either what people asked when we were doing the intuitive meditation at the beginning, or if they want any clarification about anything I've said. But yes, if that was your question, let's see. What will be with my soul connection? All right, let me read what Shelley read. Shelley says, I really do appreciate your words, Greg. I really needed to hear this today. Oh, I'm glad, Shelley. I know it's right, and I have to do what's right for myself. I love it for you. All right, so Fabiola, can you clarify what you mean by your soul connection? Is this a person you're connected with now, or are you asking about um yes, it's a person you're connected with right now. Okay. So what I'm going to tell you, my dear friend, What, but let me see. Hold on. Okay, so this question about your soul connection person, if the toy chest totally relates to that, and this is how I'm sensing or feeling that it relates to it. So when you have a connection, a soul connection, really any kind of connection with anybody, it's full of possibilities, right? It's unlimited, it's limitless with its possibilities, really. So it's very similar to having that chest, the toy chest, being full of toys. And then as you open it and as you open yourself to this connection, right? There's a lot of stuff that's going to burst forth from it, not just ideas and thoughts and toys, but there's going to be emotions, there's going to be physical sensations, there's going to be a lot. And so in the spirit of a child playing with the toy chest, I would just want to encourage you to treat the connection, the unfolding of the connection, with the attitude of that exploration, that adventure, that curiosity that we had with the child playing with the bursting wide open toy chest, right? And so because what am I getting? I'm getting the message, the sense that you're wanting absolute perfect clarity about this soul connection. You're wanting to see it all laid out so you know exactly what it is. And the only reason you're wanting that, my friend, is because if you did have that, it's impossible. I'm sorry, but it's not the way things work. But if you did have that all laid out and clear in front of you, you could feel more safe. You could feel maybe that you could open your heart more, right? So, how do we arrive at feeling more safe and more capable of opening our heart to another person when we know that we can't see the entire picture, right? We can't, it's not going to get all laid out in one. It's not going to be an entire novel or movie from start to finish, right? Because we're going to experience it one page and one chapter at a time. So, how can we do that? And that is that's why the grounding and the connection to source are so important as we head into it. So, and honestly, this is just coming to me now. I personally haven't had this experience because since my recent awakenings and heading into this work that I do with you guys, I haven't had a romantic relationship. But if I did suddenly have an opportunity or a soul connection, I'm wanting to do it from love. So I'm wanting to ground in myself. I'm wanting to ground and connect in the divine, right? And I'm wanting to come from love because when I do that, if I'm grounding and trusting source at the same time, or one or the other, right? I'm increasing my capacity to open my heart to this other person. And I'm increasing my willingness and flexibility in allowing this experience to unfold in its own time and place. Hey, Dana, good to see you, sweetheart. Nice to see you here. So it's so important. Like, oh my God, my friends, I'm just really, really feeling really strongly that this message I'm sharing right now is true of everything that we enter into, particularly with other people, right? And where feelings and connections and soul stuff and heart stuff is really, really important, right? So, Fabiola, is this making any sense to you? Hey, Gary. Yeah, welcome. Thank you. Yes, safe driving to our friend Gary. Yeah, so grounding, connecting with the divine, trusting that the divine will keep, well, like that reminder that we got earlier, right? Whenever I feeling really insecure, right? And I get that when I make that connection with the divine, how do I want to say this? When I reach out for my guides, or I remember that I am a eternal spirit and connected with the divine, right? I get a sense of comfort from that. I begin to be reminded that I am safe and that I am secure and that the divine deeply loves me, and not just the divine, other people. Other people deeply love me, and I deeply love myself. I don't always, every minute of the day, but when I'm making that level of connection, I am reminding myself that I do deeply love myself. So yes, bring that spirit into your soul connection, my friends. See what happens. Be curious. Go on an adventure. I don't mean a travel adventure, but treat the soul person as an adventure. Curious, what will get revealed next? Just like when you're reading a book, when you're sitting down and you're reading that book or when you're watching the movie, you might get glimpses of how the plot line is going to go, right? But when it's a really good movie, you don't know. There's plot twists and there's turns. When you're really into a book, maybe you're the kind of person that goes and reads the ending first. That's okay, whatever, but you still don't know what happened in the middle, even though you know the ending. So if you're the kind of person that wants to go on the journey of reading the book, yeah, do it. I love it. Timmy, welcome. Another friend from the future. Awesome. All right, my friends. Anyone else want to share what their experience was today? Um, what they got out of this, or do you have any clarification questions that you have before we wrap up? Last chance for that. I'm going to take a drink. Lovely, delicious water. 112 people. Love it. We just passed the 111 mark. Oh, oh, that's right. Oh, yes. I need to ask you guys, quick poll, please. This is super, super important and helpful for me. Because of all the chime changes around the world that have happened in the last month, I'm thinking about sort of standardizing all of my the times that I do my lives. So, I'm thinking about changing it to 3:33 Eastern. So for folks, let's see. Right now it's 5:55. That's funny. 5:56 Eastern. So what would it be like 2 hours earlier than right now? So basically an hour earlier than when we started. I'm feeling really good about that time, and I just want to have a more consistent time for the lives for you guys. So please let me know in chat whether 3:33 Eastern or whatever time that might be for you. I don't know. I'm horrible with the time zone conversions. Melissa's saying, okay. 8:30 Scotland. Great time. Fine for Tatiana. You saying today's time is good for you, Peter? Clow, yes, I know earlier would be good. Okay. What's an hour earlier for you, Peter? Oh God, right now it's 5:44. Ooh, I love that you get up early to come with us. Come join us on our journeys. Oh, 5:44 is an hour earlier. Okay. I wish it was easier to keep track of the time zones. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll do more than one live a day. Lots to consider. Anyways, at the end of the month, I'm trying to do 3:33, or maybe just do 4 o'clock. Oh well, because I'm not clear. That's not the greatest poll, but I do appreciate. You can still make 5:44. Awesome. Okay. As you can tell, I like to include as many people as possible. I'm not sure if there's an ideal time for everyone around the world. There probably isn't, but I do try to figure one out. Anyways, my friends, very good. Let's wrap up. Let's see, what do we do? Hmm. Okay, let's play with this new Oracle deck my dear friend Jackie Mancuso gave me. I'm still practicing with this. I've only done about 3 card pulls on it. It is this beautiful deck from Diana Cooper. The golden future. It's got some neat things in it. Laura says it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, that's true. All right. Let's see what we get from this beautiful deck. Look at that great book. Are the words backwards for you? I can't tell. I think so. Yeah, this deck's really interesting. It makes me want maybe also a different one because sometimes I read this and I know it talks about like a futuristic age, which is cool and everything, but that's kind of not where my mind's at. But it does kind of push me into possibilities, which I really like. So let's see. Oh yeah, look at the back. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. It's kind of hard to see in my lighting, and with the virtual background, it's not helping. I'll do it in front of my body. There we go. Yeah. All righty, let's see what we got. I'm not sure how I want to do this today. Ah, okay, I was just told to do the cutting of the deck. Go ahead and put your energy into this as I shuffle. All right, that feels like it's there. Okay, here we go. We will draw one card and put the rest away. Yeah, I just don't want to read three, Joanne. I had two fall out and I read them earlier today, yesterday. It was fun. All right, what do we got? Card number 37, Intergalactic Travel. Regard the stars with wonder. Now, if that doesn't tie into our toy chest, I don't know what does. Holy smokes. Can you see that? Are the words backwards for you, or is it just me? No, not reading three. Just cut the deck and bring it together to choose one. You'll have to explain more. I cut the deck and pulled one out from the middle, I guess. Anyways, there's probably no right or wrong. Oh, the words are fine? Okay, it's just me then. That's good to know. All right, let's see what this reading's about. Number 37, Intergalactic Travel. Okay, personally, I've always felt that in a past life I was like part of the Star Trek crew or something. I love Star Trek and any space travel, that kind of. I don't like scary science fiction, but I love anything Star Trek or whatever. And I've always felt that in a past life because so clarification here, past life doesn't isn't about time. You can have a past life in the future that belongs in the future too, because there is no time and space for source, right? So you could have had a past life in the future, right? So I believe that I had a futuristic past life. Yeah. So I'm actually kind of excited to read about intergalactic travel. What's everybody saying? Peter says amazing. Laura, my boss actually dates the lady who played Captain Janeway. Get out. Your boss dates Kate Mulgrew. She's like, was awesome. I loved Janeway. Yes. Thank you, Shelley, for your live long and prosper. Beam me up, Scotty. Way to go, Dana. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Let's see what we got. Do I have enough light to read this without showing you guys my bald spot? Yes, here we go. All righty. For thousands of years, people have looked in awe at the stars, and more recently, attempts have been made to explore space. To do so successfully, we must have love, true humility, and the right intention. Wow. By 2050, which is when this card deck says is going to be the golden future, by 2050, though, we will have the oneness consciousness that allows us to visit other parts of the universe so that we can connect and cooperate with our cosmic friends. Scientists will work in harmony with the angelic realms, the masters, and the beings in charge of the stars and planets. Holy smokes. Can you imagine scientists working with the Pleiadians, all of our angels, our spirit masters. Like, whoa, like I haven't even thought of that before. That's a crazy concept. I love it. By then, advanced technology will have created new eco materials to build rockets and the means to power them. These rockets will carry people around the world at unbelievable speeds and will also fly to the stars and planets. In the new golden age, we will be ready and able to visit our companions in this universe in spacecraft and communicate with them. Whoa. Okay, so here's the guidance. This is a fun book. It's like cool ideas about the future. Guidance. Commander Ashtar, Ashtar, who originates from Venus, commands the intergalactic fleet that protects our world. Really? Okay. He keeps all the universe in balance and harmony with one another. When you receive this card, you automatically receive an invitation to connect with Commander Ashtar and travel with him in your light body. He is sending a sparkling silver light into your crown chakra. This touches your consciousness to give you an expanded understanding of the universe. It also triggers a ray to touch your throat chakra with truth and your heart chakra with unconditional love. Take a moment to experience this. So I'm going to read that again. This touches your consciousness to give you an expanded understanding of the universe. It also triggers, I got to start. He's sending a sparkling silver light into your crown chakra. This touches your consciousness to give you an expanded understanding of the universe. It also triggers a ray to touch your throat chakra with truth and your heart chakra with unconditional love. Take a moment to experience this. Oh, I'm going to need more than a moment. Wow. If you wish to do so, mentally accept Commander Ashtar's invitation. I accept. And know that you will accompany him in his mothership to help the multiverse while you sleep. Imagine yourself looking out to the stars. For a fraction of a second, every star and planet is sending you a pulse of welcoming energy. Accept it with joy. Wow. Wow, this really resonates. This whole card is saying to me that there is so much beyond our normal levels of perception that we can't see, right? That we don't understand, but that we can understand, right? And so when we think in this way, either through Commander Ashtar or just trying to connect with higher consciousness or connect with other consciousness, right? We're expanding our abilities to perceive things. And it's very much like what we were talking about with the toy chest, right? When it explodes and we have that moment of sudden reaction or conscious intentional reaction, right? And as all the toys, all of our thoughts, all of those ideas are like flying around and then picking and choosing the ones that bring us joy and the ones that we will have fun with or whatever feeling we're wanting from that, right? And so here it's what it's saying. This also totally relates to needing, not needing, but the call to ground before going into overwhelming, scary, big, whatever undertakings, happenings, events, meetings, whatever they are, right? As well as connecting with source, connecting with the divine. This is totally talking about connecting with the divine, and in doing so, it expands our consciousness. It gives us an expanded understanding of the universe, and it also triggers truth in the throat, which the throat is truth is the truth is the core benefit, the core blessing, if you will, or aspect of the throat chakra, right? And then, of course, unconditional love, love being the element, not the element, but the energetic characteristic, I should say, the attribute of the heart chakra. This is brilliant. I love this. I'm gonna have to read that again later. All right, let's look at the picture again really, really quickly. Hope you guys can see this. What's this? What do we got? I can't see it this way because it's reversed, but I see a spaceship. Oh, and there's like a grid or a matrix in the background. Do you see that with the sun bursting forth? This is beautiful. That's cool. All right, what are you guys saying? Incredible depth of support. Yes, I agree, my friend Peter. Laura says, I like, oh, excuse me. There we go. I like to think about these things sometimes in the reverse. 35 years ago, if someone had told us that we would be able to carry a phone in our pocket, yeah, and take it with us everywhere we go and do all the things we do with it, we would not have believed them. Yeah, yeah, the throat chakra acting up, Jax. Yeah, I was about to speak Laura's truth for her. Yeah, very true, Laura. I mean, it's similar to what, like people talk about, how the Indians perceived Columbus and all the Spanish galleons as they were coming. They'd never seen anything like it, so they didn't have a concept for it. Um, a lot of the mythical stories when they talk about dragons and things, who knows what they were, right? It's really fun. Oh, great, Jax, welcome. It's your first time. I love that. I hope that you come back in the near future. Let's see, when is my next sessions or lives for you guys? I have one this Sunday at 3:33 Eastern. That's Spirit and Soul Sundays. That one's super fun. It's different than this. We go on a journey either to meet our spirit guides or to meet and possibly recover a soul fragment, a lost soul fragment. In my belief system, I believe that when we have a traumatic event or when we have any kind of a happening in which we weren't able to really be present, either as a child or even as adults, we tuck away for safekeeping a little soul fragment inside of ourselves. And so these soul journeys are an opportunity to go and meet and be present with those and maybe reintegrate them if we so choose. The spirit part is when we go on a spirit walk to meet our spirit guides, and all this energetic journeying is done inside ourselves. So Spirit and Soul Sunday is super fun, 3:30 p.m. this Sunday. And then I'm back live with you guys um next Wednesday for a repeat of this. Not a repeat, but the same thing, loving guidance on the path to our heart. And then Fridays as well. Very cool. So that's my upcoming schedule. This Sunday is the only Spirit and Walk Sunday this month. I'm trying to find a balance between having a little bit longer of a weekend for myself, and then also interweaving these. So I hope that you enjoyed today's live stream. Thank you for being here, all 132 of you amazing beings and beautiful people. Um, oh, Sunday time, you're in British Columbia. You are 3 hours behind me. So Sunday will be 12:33 for you, Jax, I think. Yeah, it'll be 3:33 on East Coast. Yep, very cool. Gary, what happened? Oh, Gary. Oh, my friend. Gary says his good friend passed away today. We were talking about that on Wednesday. Oh, Gary. Yeah, let's just hold a space for Gary for a moment. Oh, let's hold Gary in our hearts. Hmm. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Jax. All right, we're just gonna hold Gary in our hearts. So we're gonna do this closing meditation for Gary. Gary, I'm feeling for you, buddy. Mm-hmm. Ah, Gary, I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel the grief. It's okay to feel anger if it comes up. It's okay to miss your friend. It's all okay. My friends, please place your hands on your heart chakra and either in a feeling way or visualizing Gary's picture, just picture holding him in your heart holding him close to your heart and holding his friend there too. And you don't have to share anything directly. You can just hold them in your heart. And as you do so, just consider and hold so much love for them. Gary, what was your friend's name? Hmm. We're just going to take a moment to honor your friend, Skip. Dear Spirit, in love and support of our friend Gary, we honor his friend Skip. We celebrate his life, how much he cared for our friend Gary, and how much Gary cared for him. And we recognize that even though the body is gone, the spirit remains with you and with us, and that the friendship will live on because there is no separation when we live with the divine as part of our connection, as part of our conscious connection. Skip was a dear friend, fantastic companion. You guys had amazing experiences throughout your time together. And maybe they weren't all beautiful and wonderful, but they were real and they were indelible, forever melded into your heart. You remember Gary to this day and his friend Skip, as Skip has gone back to be one with Source, has gone back to the ultimate connection, the one with everything, heaven, whatever you want to call it. Gary, I encourage you to look for signs of Skip in your days going forward, little reminders or notices or messages from him, because he does love you very, very deeply and he hasn't left you. In fact, he might have become one of your spirit guides. Look for things that maybe were favorites of his or things that remind you of when you did things together. And remember that even as you go through the grieving, you have a choice. You have a choice when you see these notices and messages, when you see these signs. You have a choice to feel bad or you have a choice to celebrate and honor your friend's life. And there's no right or wrong. Do what feels right in the moment, my friend. But as the notes and messages and signs come, I do encourage you to celebrate Skip's life. It's his way of communicating with you and letting you know that he's okay. And he truly is. He truly is okay. And you will be as well. My friends, picture all of us standing in a circle around Gary today. Leave a left hand on your heart and extend your right hand forward, palm facing forward, and just share your love or vibrate your love in Gary's direction as he stands in the middle of our circle today. And even come closer and touch part of him if you want, laying a hand of comfort and support, loving comfort and support. Yes, and the journey continues, Kimmy says. I think he's at peace too, Gary. He's not only at peace, my friend, he's in joy. He's in joy and complete fulfillment. All of his fears, all of his blocks, all of his personality traits that maybe rubbed people the wrong way or just were quirky, they're all gone. He's pure spirit now, my friend. He's more than at peace. Thanks for being vulnerable with us, Gary. Thank you, everybody, for supporting Gary today and for being here with all of us. I'm so glad you were here. Please do follow if you want to get notified about more stuff and check out my tracks if you're looking for support. I don't have a lot of them, but I have some really beautiful, powerful ones. And we'll see you around in the future, somewhere along this continuum called life, either in the next live that I do or in somebody else's live. And with that, my friends, I do need to bring it to a close. I'm sending you so much love and appreciation and thanks for being here and being your beautiful, beautiful souls and selves. And I wish you adieu, as they say in France. All right. Have a great night, morning, or day, whatever's next for you. Sending you love and blessings. Be well. Bye bye.